I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up.
Hey everyone, Greg and Ryan here. Black Panther just released over the holiday weekend worldwide, and it made a little bit of cash.
Just a little bit. Guys, it's never too early to talk about a Black Panther sequel. We are extremely excited for it, and we're gonna tell you exactly what we want to see in that film. But first, hit that subscribe button because we have a ton of Black Panther content, including how Black Panther breaks the Iron Man mold.
Okay, now, of course, there's some spoilers in here, so if you haven't seen the movie yet...
Wait, who hasn't seen it? What are you doing? Go watch it right now.
Right now.
Right now, go watch it.
Okay, the first thing Marvel needs to do for its sequel is bring back Ryan Coogler.
Number one, I agree.
Yeah.
It is the most important thing. We need to see Coogler make a sequel.
Yeah.
And he has done an incredible job with his first three films, Fruitvale Station, Creed, and now Black Panther.
Yes.
He is Black Panther. He is T'Challa. Like, he is this story.
I'm not a fan of directors who can tell their own stories and are very talented and spend their time making movies for, like, superhero films or Star Wars, like Rian Johnson's. He's stuck with the next 3 Star Wars films he wants to do. I would love for them to do their own thing.
Yeah.
But Black Panther needs Ryan Coogler
Just
back.
give us one more, right? We don't want to. He doesn't have to spend his whole life doing Black Panther films, but
I hope not.
One more would be an awesome way to do this. I mean, they did this in the past with the Russo brothers doing the Avengers, with Peyton Reed doing Ant-Man's, and obviously James Gunn doing Guardians of the Galaxy. So hopefully they can get Coogler. I don't know why they wouldn't. I know Kevin Feige's already said that he absolutely wants Coogler. It would be the first thing, most important thing, I think, in a sequel. Number 2 on our list, I just want more of Wakanda, specifically the people of Wakanda. I feel like we were introduced to this beautifully vast world, but I really want to know about like the daily life, the politics, the economy, how everything works, how the society works. I told you before, I love the moments in Game of Thrones when you get to slows down a little bit and you get more of the politics of how daily life is and the different families warring on each other.
Yeah.
I want to see that, but the Wakanda version.
That was the one thing when we left the theater, I could hear people talking about, what about the people of Wakanda?
Exactly.
They were just in the background.
And that just shows you how effective the movie was, right? It teased the little moments in parts of life in Wakanda.
Yeah.
We saw different tribes leaders at Warrior Falls, but we want to know, a little bit more on their daily life. And of course, we need to see how the consequences of Wakanda opening up its borders and reaching out to other parts of the world, how that affects not only T'Challa, but also the country of Wakanda, and how him becoming an Avenger and more used in these Avenger movies affects him as a leader inside Wakanda as well.
Let's not forget about the big battle that takes place in Wakanda with Thanos and everyone else. So the aftermath of that has to be a part of the plot for Black Panther 2.
100%.
The third thing we want is, no surprise, it's more Shuri.
Yes.
And don't just designate her to being the Q character for like a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Give her more than that. She's one of the smartest characters in the MCU. She can do a lot more.
Yeah, she literally is Tony Stark without Jarvis. She doesn't need Jarvis. Like you said, she's much more than just bells and whistles. She has some character to her. She stole every scene she was in. In the comics, she actually becomes the Black Panther at some point. And you know that she made her own suit. You know she made her own suit in that in the headquarters right there. So
there was 3 there. There was the old suit. You still got Killmonger's suit. It's not his anymore. So that one's back out there again.
Yeah, she definitely made one for herself. And remember back when the first challenge at Warrior Falls, before M'Baku comes and challenges him, there was a funny little moment where she raises her hand when who would challenge T'Challa, and she raises her hand. It was a funny little like Easter egg joke, saying that this might happen down the road here.
Hell, she's capable of carrying her own storyline.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens after Infinity War? Maybe she is the Black Panther for a part of the film. We don't know. That would be amazing. Film starts off, Black Panther's gone for whatever reason, he's still in space. She's got to take over on Wakanda as the Black Panther until he returns.
Definitely, and if there's any actress that could do this, like Letitia Wright is perfect for this role. Like she literally, you can't even tell the difference between her and Shuri. She is embodied this character perfectly. So more of her, please. We are 100% on board with this.
Yes. And next up, this is a big one for me. One villain.
Yes, I agree.
One strong villain.
We don't want 3 different people to fight against. We want one strong villain that can hold his own.
Just make one. If it's gonna be Kraven, let it be Kraven. That's fine.
I would love to see Kraven. Unfortunately, Sony has the rights to Kraven the Hunter, but Coogler wanted him from the get-go of this film. Hopefully they could work out a deal and get him in this, because it would be incredible to watch.
Made.
Yeah, it would be incredible to watch those two on screen fighting. And if not that, maybe it's turning Nakia on T'Challa, which would be heartbreaking and extremely emotional for audiences in theaters. I mean, I could just see people just freaking out at the sight of that. But in the comics, this actually happened. She killed T'Challa's American fiance. So maybe time away from each other, time away from Wakanda for T'Challa, it might change the relationship there, which would make a very interesting dynamic between two characters.
Yeah. This could happen because one, okay, you have your main villain, Kraven, but also he's battling ideology.
Right.
This is why I really hope Coogler comes back, because they can tackle this, and Nakia could be an issue with that.
Yeah.
Now that they've opened up Wakanda and they can hear from the people outside of Wakanda, she may decide she doesn't see the way that, everyone else sees it in the kingdom.
Totally. Next on our list, don't forget about the supporting cast. That's what made this movie so good.
Yes, please, please, please don't. It's a sequel. I know they're gonna have to deal with a new villain, and they're gonna have to really, expand on that character a little bit more. So you're gonna get a lot of the villain, whoever it is. You got Okoye, the Dora Milaje, W'Kabi. Don't forget about these people.
And M'Baku, don't forget about Winston Duke. I was so happy to see in the Infinity War trailer that we see a lot of these characters still involved in Wakanda, as they should be. I just hope that we get to kind of spend more time with them. I know we want to stick around 2 hours for these films, but we also want to get a little bit more detail and depth into each one of these characters.
And War Dogs. They said War Dogs way too many times.
A lot of spies all over the world, right? Yep. They made it seem like they definitely wanted to dip into that storyline at some time.
It's gonna happen. I still think it's gonna be Black Panther 2.
With Bucky.
With Bucky, War Dogs. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Also, LGBT representation in the movie. Okoye had a scene, apparently, in Black Panther that got cut.
Yep.
With her and another character in the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
I can see why they cut that now, because there wasn't enough. You had to get in that a little bit more than just a quick, tiny little scene.
Yeah, you can just drop it in there oh, by the way, you need to have kind of develop that a little bit more. And it was in the books too. It was in the comic books. So I think the sequel will be an excellent opportunity for them to have this in a movie. I mean, it's not in a superhero movie yet, and to have some representation there is why not do it in Black Panther 2? And
also you have the plot now with Okoye and W'Kabi. Their relationship after what happened at the end of the movie is on a little bit of the rocky side.
Definitely.
So I can see this happening in the next movie, and I hope they do it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we talked about what characters we want to see come back. But there's a character out there that I would love to see in the sequel, and I'm pretty sure Marvel would love to see this character too come up.
Yeah.
And that's Storm, of course.
Definitely. Obviously, Storm had a long comic book storyline with T'Challa. They actually got married in the comics, so having her in Black Panther 2 would be incredible. Obviously, the Disney Fox deal is done. And I don't feel like Storm has gotten her due diligence on film yet.
She hasn't. I think this really involves the Fox Marvel deal, and I feel like Regulation's gonna take too long, and Phase 4 has already got so many parts going.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be enough time to get X-Men into Phase 4 itself, let alone Storm.
That's a good point.
But if Sony can work out a deal with Spider-Man, I think they can figure out a way to get Storm in the next movie.
Yeah, and the one thing you want to make sure doesn't happen is that they kind of rush that, right?
Yeah.
Storm is such a huge character in the X-Men universe, obviously in the Marvel universe, but you don't want to force that in there if you don't feel like it's fully
Take your
cooked.
time.
Take your time. Don't rush Storm. If it was a smaller character, okay, try to sneak someone in there, but Storm you got to do right. So
get all your ducks in a row, and I just don't think there's enough time right now.
Yeah.
Even Kevin Feige has said, "Whoa, there is nothing in the books right now for X-Men whatsoever. It's gonna be a while before we actually get something. Maybe Phase 5 is gonna start that whole thing again. House of M, I think that's it."
Yeah. All right, let's end the list. Greg, all these movies have another superhero kind of come in and team up with our main character. So who do you want in the Black Panther sequel?
Okay, so obviously you would think Bucky's probably going to be one of the main characters in there. It could be Cap, just because of how much money this movie just made.
Yeah.
They could just go, let's go for it, just put Cap in this too.
If Cap survives Infinity War.
So it could just be Bucky for other reasons.
Yeah.
Now, Those are the obvious choices.
Right.
I want them to take this in a completely different direction, bring in Captain Marvel. Not the same thing with everything we got going on in the franchise right now. Give me something new.
I love that. This is a complete fantasy, but if you are able to get Kraven the Hunter from Sony.
Oh, here we go.
Let's just have Spider-Man show up. Just for a little bit.
Sony would love this.
Just a little bit.
Sony would love this
I don't want him
scenario.
saving the whole day, but Spider-Man just swooping in on a fight in the jungle, I'm all for that one.
I can see Kraven and Sony getting, two birds in one stone here.
Right.
They can set off both franchises. But then, what are they going to be like? We don't want to see Kraven die. Kraven's got to live at the end. Spider-Man's got to be in the final battle. Something like that.
Yeah, you're right. There's a ton of yellow tape trying to figure out all the details of rights and characters. But that's why they pay these guys millions of dollars. It's their job to figure it out. We're just giving our suggestions. And I have one more suggestion. You know, Thor is looking to build Asgard. Asgard's gone. What if Thor built Asgard in Wakanda? All right, maybe that was a ridiculous idea, but let us know what you want in the sequel in the comments below.
Yeah, we'll be waiting until 2021 at least.
Oh, that long?
Yep.
Damn it.
Until next time, guys, keep it here to GameSpot Universe.
See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.